This is the basic introduction of the social media, okay? What we're gonna see here, basically the introduction and understand how social media was developed in the recent years and some statistics about our Saudi Arabian customers, which is quite the same as Bahrain. Mobile using, unique mobile users is more or less than 75% of the total population. The internet users are more than 60% today. The active media social users, half of the population today. And finally, mobile users social media, also around half of population. You have seen the penetration here worldwide. And this is the source, Global Media Insight. When you are in the break time or in the break, I will see if Bahrain statistics are there, so you may find exactly statistics if you want to know which are the penetration of mobile mobile web page, internet, so far so forth.
What is 56%?
56% of the urbanization. I mean, which one are in the urban areas and not urban areas?
Compared to the total population.
Exactly. Okay. Next, look at the penetration of internet by region. In this area is 66%. But there are other areas. Look at Italy or Southern Europe, 88. In our area, in Spain, 94. 95, 60 in Asia, only 51 in Southern Africa. Okay? Caribbean, only 51. East Africa and Middle Africa is the lowest one. So we can increase the numbers here very soon. Okay? Now, look, in Saudi Arabia, 2019. 30 million are total number of active internet users, which is almost the whole population. Internet users as a percentage of total population is 99%. The total numbers of active mobile users, 27 million, which is probably 80% of the population, which is exactly 80% of the population. Okay? Look, watch videos online, 95%. Stream TV content via internet, 52%. Play games stream live via the internet, 26% of the population. Watch live stream of other playing games, 20%. And watch sport tournaments, 12%. Finally, the connect consumers device usage. Mobile, 98% of the population. Very few of you doesn't have mobile. Smartphones, 96%. Laptop or desktop computers, 56. Tablet device, 22. Television, 83. Still, but it's going down. Devices streaming for internet connection on TV, 5%. E-reader device, only 1%. And wearable tech device, 2%. That is going to be increased in the next years. It's a really nice statistics. I encourage you to see that source, special for you. The Global Media Insight has a statistic for every single country worldwide. And it's interesting to see the penetration, because I just take this information, but there is a lot of information behind. Okay? See what are you consume every month. YouTube, it seems like is the first consumption TV video, 83 million traffic, 26 minutes, 4 seconds, and the average is 11 pages. Google.com, Google.com SA, Facebook.com, WhatsApp, Live, Wikipedia, Amazon, Netflix. It rings the bell. It's something that you recognize by yourself. YouTube is the thing that is one of the things you look the most.
WhatsApp, actually.
WhatsApp? Okay.
Instagram.
Huh?
Instagram is not there.
The? Instagram is not here. Okay.
No, this is Saudi.
The websites, huh?
So WhatsApp is used as a website for?
Probably communication. Let me see the next statistics. No, there is another statistics, next pages. But they didn't.
Ours is different than yours.
It's different, the slides. Okay. Okay. Ha, porque me lo han hecho cambiar, colegas. Okay, don't worry. I will discuss that. Yeah, because I did that slides for this course specifically. Why you have the older one? I have to talk with the team. Let me talk to the team later, okay? So, which are the difference between Web.1 and Web.2? Before, what do you have is, you remember 18 years back, everybody exists 18 years back. Remember the web pages? Remember, roughly the web pages are very static, are PDFs. You see the web page, you cannot interact with them. It's just using to deliver information to you. No communication, information. I inform you that I have this. So now people are more interactive circumstances. Come on. People have more interacting circumstances. They are willing to not only send your email or your address, but also interact with you. They co-create with you some, communication tools, not only through social media, but also in your web pages. What is on 1.0 web pages? The users were around 50 million worldwide, and this is not far away. It's only 18, 20 years back, no more than this. You can read, nothing else than read. Information, static, nothing else. The second, the web 2.0, there are more. Before it was only 100,000 web pages. Web 2.0 is 100 million. So imagine the quantity. And 1 billion users. And you publish content, and you also can generate content. This is 2.0. And examples, you can see YouTube, Wiki, Flickr, Facebook, and so on, that you can generate content. But there is about 3.0. In 3.0, we already spoke about, we didn't spoke yet, about big data. You know what big data is? No? What is big data? Huh?
I just heard about it. It's all putting information about it.
Not order. It's not order. Big data, what is big data? It's not in order.
There's so much data being collected.
Huh?
There's so much data being collected.
Exactly. It's the data, but it's an unstructured data. Unstructured, not structured data. Internet of Things is one of the sources of the big data. Okay, big data is nothing else, nothing more than the data. Every time you go to YouTube, every time you go to Google, every time you go to Facebook, Instagram, every time you do likes or not likes is data. Everything is data. So before, companies has a lot of data, but they don't know what to do with them. And in fact, some of the data I'm going to rubbish. They don't care about the data. Today, data is the gold. Why? Because companies, or Facebook, for example, is a very good example. They are not interested in your name, in you specifically. What they are interested in is let them know, what is the interest of this group of persons in this city, because the data is very unstructured. You don't have the same desires than him, than her, than me, than the other people. So the data is, roughly is in different parts and different sources. So when you can collect that data and extract that data and may package that data to sell to one company and say, look, I have this information. These are people from Manama. This is the data of remember the data that we collect from brand equity? They made surveys, 500,000 in 80 countries. Now the data is, look, I have the data of 500,000 people in Manama. I don't know if there's so many people here, but imagine. These people are interested to buy, they are talking about buying new car, and probably they are interested. I'm going to sell that data for you. If you are a car dealer, or a brand car, how much is the cost of the data? The cost is not so high. And in fact, what I deliver to them is some qualified leads. You know how difficult is it, you in the sales, calling one person and qualify them? Oh, food is here, yeah. So qualified people is one of the most, one of the things who takes so much time from your side. If I give you this data, you already have 500,000 qualified leads. You have them to put on the funnel to try to create them as a customer, and then loyal in the future. So the big data is that one. The artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence?
To make the machine predict what they want.
Exactly. Good example, Netflix. Okay? Are you all in Netflix? Which of you are not in Netflix? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Netflix is a platform that you can see movies, series, documentaries, so far, so forth. I have Netflix in my home, and we have 4 different, from different profiles, users. Myself, my wife, and my kids, and they have different interests. I'm like so much documentaries. Everything with the documentary, I'm interested in. And not only from natural perspective, but historical perspective, or from brand's perspective. So I understand a little bit something that real happened. My older kid likes to see, Dragon Ball or things like that. And my young daughter likes to see, Bambi, Peter Pan, or things like that. So these platforms understand which are the things we like the most. So they recommend us to see some things that attach to our desire. They are not sending me all the time documentaries, because this is easy. But if you see a documentary, historical documentary, which has some kind of violence, they recommend you some other series or movies who has some kind of the same violence. Or probably you see a series which is related with police, or detectives. So, drama and things like that. So they recommend you some documentaries or series or movies which is related with the same drama, because it's the things you like the most. Yes?
They collect from the same people who watch this movie and make predictions depending on what they see.
Repeat again.
Yeah, they collect the data from other people who watch the same things are you watching, and give you prediction for what are they watching and you didn't.
Okay, who do that? AI, exactly. This is the answer. So AI is a machine, is not a person. It's a machine that collects information from you who see the same thing. Oh, those people like, policeman approach.
Or human behavior data.
Huh?
Human behavior data.
Yeah. So what they do is try to collect that information and offer to you some series. But before offer, they collect that data and say, look at what quantity of people like policeman stories. Go to the producer. Hey, you have to produce a story who are talking about this. Do something. So they write, they produce, and they launch a new series they offer for you. So that's why they have a big success, because they are not just one person knocking Netflix door. I have a movie from you, buy. Okay, I put in my platform. No, it's the other way around. They listen to you, and based on what they are listening from you, they say, hey guys, I need a movie, but I need a movie with this characteristic. Bang, 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 bang. Give to me, and you have a short time, or this is the lead time. 10 months, I need the movie or the series, because the customers are waiting for this. And you're going to have a big success if you follow those steps. Before you produce, and let's see what happened. Today, you listen, produce, and big success. And that's why Netflix is a monster worldwide. And in fact, I read in a newspaper, one philosopher say, Netflix is a predator. because they are looking at our guts, desire, expectations. They take through AI and, give to you.
Did you watch The Great Hack?
Huh?
The Great Hack, it's a documentary.
No.
It's about taking information during Trump Bush's
No, Trump.
election, during Trump's election.
Yes, I saw.
And then
And it happened with Facebook.
Facebook.
You know the problem that Facebook has, because they take data from people, AI again, they take data from people and they release information which is make interesting Trump for you. And then you vote for them, and this was a big success, a big problem. In fact, Mr. Zuckerberg was in front of the Congress and he say, it's my mistake, which is nice from this guy. It's our mistake. We didn't have pay the correctly attention on this. But you know what happened recently? They discovered another problem that the people are still taking advantage from. So they say, no, we're going to cover all the problems, but they didn't cover yet, apparently.
They're selling the data.
I'm totally agree with you.
Yes.
This is the business model, why this company is number one or number two, 10 years back, because they are selling data. This is my point. Nobody, you record me, you have to cut this part. But from my perspective, yes, this is part of the business model. Companies are very well interested to have qualified leads. And I can qualify leads as my friend, calling, but it's more easy if I give you 1,000 every day. They are already qualified. You don't have to call. You just have to follow the process and you get better business. Of course, from one company who sell one by one is more difficult. But imagine a company who sell, B2C big time, global companies. It's a huge quantities of money. And you are be able to pay for those leads. Because an increase, it's not paying to Britney Spears or Cristiano Ronaldo 750. It's pay less money, and you have already qualified them. Okay? So this is now where we are in Web 3.0. As part of digital marketing, look, if we see this, we still using those kind of things, but it's gonna be disappear. In fact, this is almost disappeared. This is almost disappeared. This is disappear. In fact, which of you have landline in your home? Nobody has landline? I have landline, but I never use. And when the phone rings, it's like, what's going on here? And it's, I'm going to sell you. Okay, of course, nobody called me on landline anymore. Okay, so this disappear. We still using this, and we still using this. But the way you using this is going to change. And from my perspective, they will disappear in the next 4 or 5 years because you're going to use the phone. And in fact, Samsung today launched in Spain the phone that you default. So it's like a computer. You fall and default, and this, yeah, exactly. And this will disappear for sure. So now we concentrate not in the devices or in the hardware. We are more concentrated in the software. This is where we communicate to each other. We need the hardware just to communicate, but none of those will be necessary very soon. So the digital marketing ways, some ways to do digital marketing through social media, through websites or blogs, through multimedia advertisement. YouTube is an example. Online searching engine advertisement, as I explained before, SEO and SEI and Google AdWords, email marketing, or interactive marketing apps. Okay? The inbound marketing and outbound marketing. Yesterday we spoke that when you receive an email marketing campaign, disturbs you, doesn't it? It's like, why you send me those emails I'm not interested on? This is interruption marketing. The inbound marketing is another way to approach to you. It's more softly. In fact, I am LinkedIn. I received the certification of LinkedIn in a course I did in Berlin. what they say is, look, if you want to capture the attention of the leads, never do this. Can you connect with me? And you say yes, and immediately send a statement of selling something. I received that 2 or 3 times, and I really hate that. And I say, you don't know me. Why you? I just accept your connection and you send me that such information. Don't do this. What the LinkedIn people say is, the first thing you have to do in LinkedIn Sales Solution, you have to pay for that. You have your free LinkedIn and you have your pay LinkedIn. The pay LinkedIn is around 60 euros monthly, which is not cheap. But it's a good source to find leads. Probably in your sector is gonna be good. I don't know if you use it. But the thing is, the first thing you have to do is search for companies and people that you are interested on. As soon as you find them, you follow them. You can see them, but they cannot see you. It's not like, when someone looks at your profile, but you cannot see your face, the other person. No, it's not that way. I can see you, but you don't even know that I saw you already. So every time you upload something, every time you do likes to something, every time you put a comment, appears in your dashboard. And in dashboard, if it's interesting for you, you can add some information which is interesting for the lead you want to contact with. Imagine you upload an article and you read the article, and in that article you can make a comment. Very good article. I recommend you to read this article too, because increase the information or support your information. It's a nice way, because if I upload the article and you follow me and you send me that information, it's like, oh, nice. I don't know you. How do you know that? And if you ask for connection, the first thing is, because we're working in the same sector, I would like to be connected with you. You usually accept. But if you start to making a soft contact with them, finally, for example, imagine he knows me and he knows him. And I have a very good relation with him and also you together. I can ask you, can you introduce me this person? Because there are a few important things I have to talk with him. But not invade him, just very softly, and at the end, they are more than wide open to listen to your proposal. In fact, when I'm looking for a job, 4 years back, I made that strategy with 6 or 7 headhunters. Today, 2 of those headhunters are a very good friend of mine, because I approached them very softly, this offer is interesting. Hey, this person or this company are looking for profiles that do manage. I help him. At the future, he will help me for sure. So this is some of the difference between interruption marketing and outbound marketing. The other way is, for example, public speaking or blogging or influencer or earning social media through different groups and so far, so forth. The same funnel as we saw before is the same we had here. We have the strangers, which is the segment or the target market. This target market can be attracted by SEO, we already explained, by blogs, social media sites, or mobile optimization. Then they can convert on visitors. That visitors can be calls to action force, landing page optimization. We already spoke about this. Then we can create the real leads, which are interested in my product. So NEM, email optimization, CRM synchronization, lead scoring, sales alert, personalized email, web, social nurturing, and so far, so forth. Only here is when you can connect with the others through email campaigns, because they are already open to listen to you, not here. Then when we have the customers with the feedback, email engagement, and they can be promoters from the strangers. How? Create a community in the social media. So if you want to find a new job, you can knock the doors of the headhunters or the companies. But if you have better success, if someone sells you, hey, this person is a very good professional, in some comments on LinkedIn, for example. So people, you increase your opportunity if someone sells you, because you are not selling directly. It's exactly the same thing with the companies. Okay? So imagine you work in the insurance company, which is quite difficult to sell. Describe an inbound action and one outbound action you could execute in order to get new clients. One inbound action, for example. Are you here?
Yeah.
Or I am the only one?
Outbound, you mean?
You can, an outbound action and inbound action. Remember the outbound and inbound? Yes? So, inbound, how you can connect with your customer if you are an insurance company, inbound perspective.
Blogs.
Good. Blogs. What else? Huh? This is outbound. Could be inbound, outbound. Agree. Do you,
The internal web page, like intranet, they have.
Yeah, but they are an action. Imagine you are the insurance company and you want to sell an inbound and outbound. Huh? Awareness, how you do that? He say blogs, which is agree. You can build a community in social media, for example. Or you can make an advertisement on TV with an opinion leader, for example. They are talking about you, but they are not disturbing you. Or you can go for, if you want to make an outbound action, you can send an email campaign. Probably people are interested or not, but it's difficult to sell an insurance company. Because who wants to buy dead insurance? Oh, dead, oh, no insurance. Or who wants to buy health insurance? No, I'm very healthy. And the day after you have a problem with your heart. It's difficult to sell info. That's why I bring that example. And what action do you think is more effective for insurance company, inbound or outbound? Inbound? I'm not sure. Probably in insurance company works better the outbound. Probably. And why is that? Because which of you have insurance here? Everyone. And you bought insurance because you want or because by law you have to have? For few things you have to have. Which of you have insurance not because you have to have?
Which type of insurance? Car insurance or
any insurance? Car, house, health, debt. But I know that some of you has to have an insurance by law. Forget that one. Keep the other one. Which one has an insurance by your own? Only 2, 3. It's not easy. So imagine an approach to you and say, you have to buy a life insurance. Why? I am 20-something years old. A lot of life in front of me. And probably you had an accident and things happen. So it's very difficult to sell an insurance company from one person which is very young. Life insurance company, no, it's not for me. But probably it's for everyone. So probably I have to force you somehow to listen to me. Because, or in inbound, I can create some advertisement which is very tough, that you open your eyes and say, oof, I have to be insurance. I have to have an insurance. So it depends on,
My relative is one agent, so he keeps coming when I go for vacation to India. He keeps coming forward to his advice. So yeah, he keeps coming home.
My father-in-law, many years back, someone knocked the door as an insurance company. He was on that time 30 years old. And the insurance company, the guy came and convinced him to buy a life insurance. My mother-in-law say, I'm 26, you're 30. Why you have to buy an insurance? You are too young. 2 years later, he died by cancer of throat. And thanks of that day, my mother-in-law can keep her house and can grow their children. And since then, when I married, life insurance for me, no. and I have to buy my insurance, life insurance, because you say, look, if I keep alone, I need to grow these kids. So buy your insurance. Say, okay, buy yours. I don't want to be also alone. So we are being forced to have insurance, life insurance. Okay? Well, let me continue. What is social media? Now, another statistics from this, the same source as we saw before. Social media is the collective of online communication channels dedicated to community-based input, interaction, and content sharing and collaboration. What kind of content? Websites, we saw already. Applications dedicated to forums, microblogging, social networking, different Instagram, Facebook, social bookmarking. You know what is social bookmarking? When some community share in common interest. Send links, for example, for books, for movies, for web page, interest information, which is interesting for that community. I'm in LinkedIn. In LinkedIn, you have some communities which is interesting in industrial sector for food powders or education and so far, so forth. Social curation, it's also that probably things that you didn't hear is when you co-create a web page from one interest of the group. Okay? Wikis, you know, Wikipedia, for example, is one of the examples, and another different types of social media. So you have so many different sources. Remember the video yesterday of the first video, the story. My mind is getting old. The cross-media channel, cross-channel marketing. Remember, this is part of the cross-channel marketing, and that's why the social media plan is part of the marketing plan, but it's not a marketing plan itself. It's like a whole structure, but it's under the strategy of the company and the strategy of the marketing plan. And then you build your marketing plan, social marketing plan, as we see later on. Okay? So, do you think it's an important topic for a business? The statistics. Again, advertisement audience in Saudi Arabia. Total advertising audience in Facebook monthly active users, 15 million, which is half of the population mainly. 22 female, 78 male. Total advertisement in Instagram. Here the male is also bigger, but the female is also bigger in Instagram. Advertisement on Twitter, or 11 million, female 29, male 71. Advertising in Snapchat, here the female are more bigger. Why is that? Why is Snapchat is bigger than female than male?
Because they talk a lot.
Yes, it's true. They have better conversation strategy than we have. We are less talker. And probably because those pages or those platforms has more images and photos. And I realize myself that when the photos appears, ladies like to see the photos. And I see the men doesn't like to see too many photos. I don't know if it happened with you, but in the city I live in, when photos appear from one group, a football group, for example, I see the ladies see the photos. Men didn't care too much about the photos. And probably the images attract more her than us.
It's because we provide a service that the others don't, and it's very targeted for females, especially in Saudi Arabia.
Probably they are more optimized for female than for men. Yes, I agree with you. Total advertisement audience in LinkedIn, 3.40 million, which makes sense. There are more male than female, since you are not involved too much in LinkedIn anyhow. Another statistics. E-commerce spent by category in Saudi Arabia. Fashion and beauty, look at the quantity. Electronic and physical media, personal care, furniture, appliances, video games, digital music, travel including accommodation, and toys and hobbies. Okay? You have that source in Global Media Insight. There is a lot of information in Global Media Insight. I know it's not the same images that you have in your book. I will talk with the team, okay? Look, Percentage of the people with active account on the top social networks. Saudi Arabia is here. More or less the same, average of the world. But look here, average number of hours that social media users spend using social media each day. Look where you are. Bigger than the average. And why is that? I have some reasons, and I want to share with you. And this statistic is 2 years back. This is a slide specifically. Probably because you don't have so many places for leisure in Saudi Arabia, not here. People spend more time talking by social media platforms. This is one of the reasons I found why they are bigger than any other countries. For example, Italy, that you remember before, South or European countries has 98% of internet.
Not maybe because of the internet usage, but so they are the
Now, in Italy,
it's available everywhere, for example.
I don't know, but the internet is very cheap in Europe also, very cheap.
But maybe it's not available everywhere. Like if you go to any coffee shop and stuff, the internet is not there. It's not available.
Where? There or here?
I mean in Italy or Spain.
No, yes, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I mean, the connection and the viability to connect everywhere, in every single place, even in the biggest mountains, is very easy there. The connections are easy. I mean, the network works very well. And I believe is why you spend more time in social media. One of the reasons I have is because the leisure time you have is less outside, so the leisure time is inside home. And you use to connect with others through the social media. This is the only reason I found. Probably it's a mistake, okay? But it's interesting to understand that. Google Plus. What happened with Google Plus? When? April the 4th, this year. Okay? But instead, I still bring that example. Look, Pinterest. Remember the pictures? 68 female, only 32. Why you can find here, look, more things which are related with their interest and not our interest. Twitter. What happened here? Something happened here. Let me see. Just 1 second, please. Is the same in the book?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Probably my mistake in this case. My mistake. Okay? Sorry for that. My mistake. So, in Twitter, the penetration is in the United States, 5,700 tweets every second and 560 million active users. Facebook also is 1 billion active users. This is, by difference, the biggest one. Instagram, it's grow 2 digits every 2 months or every 3 months easily. So these statistics are bigger than today. This is close, and LinkedIn probably are more males than females, but I cannot see that the statistics here. And people are older than 35 years old. Some interesting thing about Facebook. Which is the target which growing, the segment market which growing the most in Facebook today? All people, exactly. Which age? 55 to 70. Gender? Huh? Female. And you know why? They want to see what the kids are doing. And because the kids see that, now this one has better impact. So now this is the one where the kids grow in the most, because my father is not there, or my mother. I don't want them to see me. This is my life. Okay? But look, do not forget these words, because in 10 years, this probably changed and probably this disappear, and another one with another name will appear for the younger people. For example, Snapchat is the one who is now growing so fast in a very young one, in teenagers today, which in 10 years, their fathers will be there and they have to move from another sources. Okay? Well, this is a timeline. We are almost finished this presentation. This is a timeline for the social media. So you can see that Facebook bought Instagram, Twitter, Voicebine, Findery launches, and Pinwell. Some of them that we don't know yet very well, but probably in the future they're gonna go for something interesting. You know that LinkedIn was bought by Microsoft. LinkedIn was bought by Microsoft 3 years back. You know how much money they pay? $27 billion. 27. Imagine the guys who invent the LinkedIn. And why Microsoft paid $27 billion from LinkedIn? Which is the importance of this? Data. What kind of data? Working people. This is the most and the best accurate CRM worldwide. What is the problem with the CRMs in your companies?
Customer relation.
Yeah. But what's the problem of this customer relationship management, the CRM? What's the problem? The accuracy. One of the most difficult things in your company with the CRMs is the update data. You have to update the data every single day. What happened in LinkedIn? We update our data. And this data is very accurate because it's in our own interest. So Microsoft bought the best CRM worldwide for $27 billion.
It makes sense for LinkedIn, but Facebook in 2013 bought WhatsApp for $17 billion.
Yeah. And it doesn't appear here.
There is no data, there is no advertisement, there's nothing there in WhatsApp.
No, but is data in WhatsApp? Of course there's data.
What kind of data?
Of course, the data in WhatsApp. You know the words you use in LinkedIn, in WhatsApp. I like this movie. See that all this information take from you is packaged data, sell to the companies. It's very easy. It's not only your personal, but it's what you write, is what you share. All those things is data. It can take the data, package, extract that data, and sell to the companies. And this is a lot of money, my friend. A lot of money. Okay, let me continue. I don't know how many slides we still have because it's break time. Okay, let's go. So, the social media use potential purposes. What is the reason you use social media in your company? Mainly?
Marketing.
What kind of marketing?
Target marketing.
Target marketing. So sales. You try to sell. Advertisement, sales. What else? Communication. Okay, good.
Brand awareness. Create brand awareness.
Brand awareness. Good. What else?
Customer reviews. Feedback.
Feedback, which is contact with your customer. Collecting data. Okay.
Building a community.
Building a community. There are so many things we can do in the social media. Let's see some of them later on. So, social media help us to find out what the people are interested in. So listen to our potential customers. Find out what our people are talking about. Provide useful information and advice content to them. Talk to them, community, and listen to them. So, social media purposes, you may divide the social media purposes in communication, customer service, reputation management, sales lead generation, advertising, and market research. So, you mentioned collecting data, market research. You mentioned sales, it's here. You mentioned communication is there. You mentioned feedback, which is customer service. And also you mentioned something about advertising, which is everything covered. So, in contrast with other social media enables to have two communications way in a real time. Other sources like web page or email are asynchronic information, but this information is synchronic. We may talk with each other in the real time. So business can be used, this channel, communicate with your public and understand them and listen to them. And social media can be used in a highly effective public communication tool. Okay, so communication, the social media platforms build communities. That is the word I found yesterday, community. Build community. Remember yesterday trying to, not the group is a community builder. So, can be used to build a community around your brand. Sometimes the communities are brand biggest fans because they feel that they are part of the stake. And this is really nice. If you have a very good sales, very good social media communication strategy, you make your customer talks about you. And it's so easy because sometimes customers doesn't talk to us directly and frankly, but with you they do. So if I know what they are talking with you and you are part of my team, then we can make better things for my final customer. And then the organization don't just participate in conversations, but also leading and guiding that conversations. As part of my dissertation, and as I said yesterday, something it calls co-creation. I can create the content from my company or my brand to you. But what you are doing with your network is something which is not under my control. And this is called co-creation because sometimes you can co-create the product, the service, the satisfaction based on that comments, and they can adjust my product or my service to them. So send a message directly for those fans and getting the feedback. The second one is the social media customer service. We already spoke about this in Amazon, remember? That how do you feel about Amazon customer service? And he received twice the same product. I made that question in the previous classes, and people are very satisfied from the customer service from Amazon perspective, from Amazon as a brand, not perspective. So social media quickly becoming a customer service channel. People expect to respond very quickly to their inquiries. And Brandon wants to resolve users left on the public, so they tend to solve problems in question on social media as fast as they can. Sometimes customers assist each other too. I remember being in holidays with one of my best friends. He organized sports events in Barcelona and now in another countries. In fact, he will part of the organization of the Titan Desert in close to Jeddah. It's going to start next year or the other. They don't know yet. But the thing is, we were in holidays and suddenly he disappeared. And I say, what happened with you? No, I'm working. And he is responsible for the social media crisis. And he started to resolve one crisis of one customer who didn't receive the product for the running. So he'd say, Victor, I have to manage this immediately and fast. Because if I'm doing this, like there's a ball snow, it's going bigger, and nobody can stop. So leave me alone for 2 or 3 hours, and I will solve the problem. By phone. And after 2 hours, he came back and said, done. The person is happy again. So we can continue, enjoying or drinking or whatever. The customer service of Amazon, we already spoke about this. And now the reputation management. Combination of social media makes all the brands of an individual or brand or individual are only quick search away whether they are positive or negative. The reputation management. On social media, brands can even respond to mentions or find other ways to manage them. Brands can use social media in 2 ways to manage the online reputation. By monitoring what customers and fans are saying and identify use proactively, or the communication and getting their side to the story. Okay? Remember Volkswagen. Do you think Volkswagen managed well the reputation, problem of reputation they have? What do you think? Yes or no, and why? Yes and why? You know how much is the total revenue of Volkswagen company? 9 billion. You know how much is the estimate cost of the problem they create with the emissions? 3 billion. For a company, and you were used to work in that sector, the automotive sector is a sector that the margins are very narrow, even from Volkswagen. So I just thought at this time that 9 billions revenue, 3 billions problems, this company is not going to put their face up in the next 4 or 5 years, which is the reality today after 2 years of that problem. Volkswagen is still the number one. So from my perspective, they manage very well. Why? First, they call all the people who has problems with their car to repair the problem for free. Recently I read they didn't resolve the problem at all. They just fake a little bit the system to try to increase the time to resolve the problem, deeply way. But at least in Barcelona and in Spain, they call all the people and change as much as they could the system of course for free. We say of course, but change the system of thousands of the car is a big problem in a sector that the margins are very, very narrow. So from my perspective, they manage very well. And the other side of the story is we still believe, and I made the question this afternoon, that the Germans are the ones who made the best cars. So even though, because if that problem happened with Saudi Arabian company, worldwide, probably nobody will buy, because people recognize you as a petrol country and not as a car factory company. If that problem happened with Renault in France, or happened with Kia or Hyundai in South Korea, probably the story is a little bit different. They're gonna have more problems to improve their performance short term. But Volkswagen did it, and I think they did it not only because they manage very well their reputation, but also because in social media they manage as soon as quick as they can.
But this problem is also there with Subaru.
Huh?
The problem is there with Subaru. Subaru is faking, having big time problems on this. They have stopped their production until 2021, and the product is not going to be coming into the market because of this problem they have, because it's a big cost. They have to recall all the vehicles and do this.
And it's Subaru, which is not a 9 billion company. Probably is a company of, 1 billion. And Subaru, I don't know if you know someone who has Subaru. You have one. You have Subaru too? I don't know which of you has one car, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen. Raise your hand. Audi, Volkswagen, what are other brands? Seat, not Seat. Bugatti, no Bugatti's here. Porsche, not Porsche here. Kia, no, sorry, not Kia. Skoda. So imagine how many brands they have behind, and still they survive. And they survive because we recognize the quality, but they cheat us. But they manage very well. And Subaru is a small company. If they going back on 2021,
it's a big time thing, because
I don't think they.
It is not easy to come back.
There's not easy to come back, and especially because we have now the Teslas and we have the other brands who are our electric car. When they arrange the problem of the emissions, now all the companies has an electric car. In fact, Volkswagen, based on that problem, they promise that all their cars on 2025, all of them are going to be electric. No, they're going to have options for electric. All their lines or their products can be electric or combustion in 2025, which is in 5 years.
All the manufacturing are supposed to go electric by 2025.
All the manufacturing.
Yeah, there is no production.
I only read the statement from Volkswagen, not from the other companies yet. Yeah, no, probably. Yeah, because you see in the Frankfurt Automotive Fair, Mercedes came with one, Porsche came with one. So many brands, of course, they are going, and they're going to fight with Tesla big time. I really like Tesla, but I don't know if they will survive in the future, because again, the margins in this sector is very, very narrow. The operation has to be perfect done. If not, you're losing money.
Tesla has a big name, but then also in electric cars, Chinese are more advanced. Their production and cost of acquisition is very low.
Yeah.
They are prepared for this electric.
Yeah, in fact, they have a new electric brand car in China, and it's interesting to see how these cars are coming to our countries. Huh?
Because there's a brand over here, BYD, Build Your Dreams. Okay, this is a Chinese brand.
Yes.
This car you can hardly see on the street.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2 maybe, but they are fully prepared for the electric.
Huh.
So they are like, we can match anybody.
Be careful with the Chinese, because there are too many. When I was kid, I remember being in the fairs, and you know which are the ones who take pictures of every single product in the fairs before?
China.
Japanese people. They are the ones who copy everything when I was kid. I remember when I was kid, Japanese copy everything. Oh, again, Japanese here. And they are going in every single fair taking pictures all the time. And look at what Japanese are doing today. Do you believe that Japanese products are good?
Yeah.
And they are only 100 million. The other country do it exactly the same, and they are 1.3 billion. Imagine what they can do. Remember the factory globes? I can tell you many other stories about another factories I came in, and I was like, my goodness, where I am, this is another world. How big is it? Really big. Globes, industrial for iron, ports, Coca-Cola there. You cannot see the end of the Coca-Cola factory in China. Well, not in China, one of them. And many other companies where I visit them is like, my goodness, what these people have. 1.3 billion, they can create a lot of things. Of course, there are problems with quality at the beginning, but this is going to be changed in the next 5 years. Okay? So, awareness is another thing that we use social media. Where is the audience? There is advertisement. Social network advertisement is accessible to both big and small advertisers. Easy. And social media advertisement is appealing to advertisers because the rich demographic and psychographic. Remember the psychographic yesterday? The innovators, the targeting opportunities and time spent by people on social media. It's more time spending, more opportunities to reach them. Okay, there are some advertisement examples that you may see from shoes, travels, making money, apps for. In fact, there is an app. Waze is not Waze. There is an app that you can make transfer, short quantity of transfer is available here. Yeah. I cannot remember the name, but in Spain,
Benefit Pay.
No, there is another one that everybody download the app, and if I have, may you give, if you pay something, I don't have money, I transfer you 10 euros or 5 euros, very easy, small quantities, and go to your account.
Something like PayPay.
I cannot remember the name right now, but it's not the name you said before.
This is our local one, Bahrain.
This is local one. Probably they are local in each country because of the regulations. The next one is lead generation. Adding a social layer to a commercial transaction can create a richer experience on online consumers. There is social layer on the online shopping experience. Okay? And you can see an example, for example, in booking. You can create and generate leads based on that comments made by the other peoples. And finally, the research and insights, qualitative and quantitative about your market, brand or product, rich source data about demographic preference base, rich information about the size of the market, things people like by using Planet Doors, tools that help track mention and sentiments, information and feedback from community like an online focus group. Things that we already spoke during the day of yesterday and today. And there is one Facebook strategy to reach some people from a specific sector. So you can do that as a company, you can do that. If you are interested, imagine to sell basketball balls in Turkey. and you want to sell the basketball balls in universities. Which one are the target you reached first? So you may have, you put the characteristics based on the characteristic you are looking for, and then you came out with the potential reach. In the marketing plan we are now doing just right now, she made a very interesting approach about this. She's gonna explain, how she found and which is the potential target market we may have in this region for this coffee shop that we set up yesterday. Okay, so you may see here in these universities how many people you may reach and which one you have to reach first based on the quantity of the people and sell the product you may have in your mind. Okay? Okay, we finished the module of foundations.